Well, hello there, and welcome back in Satisfactory. Let's get this going. I hope you are doing well. And we are gonna get our leading edge production that is gonna give us access to minus Mark III, which is really good. It's gonna come in quite handy, especially in this episode. And I also wanna go and select this hard drive real quick. So this is gonna be coke steel ingot. It gives us 100 per minute instead of 45, but it's going to be taking up petroleum coke instead of normal coal, so we're not going to be using that recipe for the moment, but that doesn't really matter all too much. I want to grab my jetpack here real quick. Now there's two ways we can do this. We can either upgrade the miners over by this coal loading transportation side, or we can go over to the quartz section and just add in another vehicle, which I think might be the better option to do. Don't get me wrong, we're already getting more than enough coal from that transportation section. But the thing is though, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to either upgrade those miners and fully overclock it, or we can just break down this section and just load it up from here. Because there's a little tractor driving over to our steel factory that we got that side, but it is going to be broken down. And even this path network needs to be removed. So I think I'm going to be breaking down this entire truck station. That would be the safest bet. And then we're just going to add a little truck stop like we did over there by the first side. And if we need to send coal somewhere else, we can do it without any kind of issue. So let me get this broken down. Just get the foundation for the truck in place here, because there's quite a bit to break down. Alrighty then, so I've got the platform for our truck station down. Just need to close off this little section here, and I've got the first lifts loading into the truck station down as well. Tricky part though is going to be how to connect everything to power. I'm just going to connect it like this for the moment, and then I'll come back and just fix this up properly. Right, so we got our truck stop loading here. This is going to be coal loading Station 2, I think I need to rename it. Otherwise it might just cause a little bit of an issue. So this is going to be loading. We're going to unload at the hub. Maybe I need to break this down a bit and move the miners. You know what, I could actually add in foundations as well over here. Maybe go with a 4-meter one. Just want to see if this miner over this side is still going to be able to go into position there. So let's go with the miner Mark II. No, it's not. Oh, bugger. Yeah, that's not going to work. I think I'm going to leave the miners exposed. I'll just come and add in some support for the structure not to be floating. And I think this is going to be what we have to do. Right, so I don't need to connect you to power over there, but we can do it the side, and then you can connect up there. You need to fully overclock it again, so that's going to be 600 per minute. And this one, you know what, no, I don't need to make it 600 per minute, because we need 520 in total. Interesting. 520 in total, and normal rate is 240, so I don't even think we need to overclock it. This should be more than enough in order to run our steel factory with no problems. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm not gonna go crazy with the power shots. I would like to save a bit of power anyway. So this might be a little bit more tricky, since it's not going to be directly in line with that lift because of the way that the miner is placed. Interesting. I'll come back and fix this. Mess around a bit with what I can do there in order to get it looking nice and tidy. Because I don't want anything to be clipping in anywhere, but I really would like to get this production up and running today as well. So this side is going to be a little bit more tricky. Because is this going to be in line in order to do a bend? I don't think so. It's going to need to face in this direction and then wrap around back again. Yeah, so then like that. I'll just come and clean it up there. I'll use some of the ceiling mounts in order to just make sure that everything is going to be running perfect and looking much better. But we should be good. This has to be 1200 loading. We can head back to the hub again. Oh, wait a minute. No, we can't. Something I completely forgot to do is where is my truck path? There we go. So then let's see, which way do I want to load it in from? I'm going to be heading over this way. So if I use a straight, I can bring it to, I want to say over there. Gotta be kidding me, right? There we go. Default connection will work now. Straight will work as well. Was just being a bit finicky with me. I want to bring it over to there first. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think I can close this side off because we're going to be entering in over here. And then we're going to exit over this side. So this is where we have to cross the road and go over this way. And we need to join you up with this truck path over this side. I want to actually shorten this quite a bit as well. Because what I've noticed is from the intersections, the distance of this green line really affects how far the other truck is going to stop before it really comes in sight here. So I think we can bring this truck path over this way. That should be fine. And it needs to go directly across that side there. So that should be a fully completed truck path going all the way back to the hub. We don't need to go that side with coal or anything. So that should be it for the truck path. Something quick, easy, and just really simple, but it absolutely works. Oh, this is so good. Let's go and see if we get another truck down, if we can just quickly get it up and running. Then we're definitely going to be having enough coal in order to do our steel production. We do need to add a miner over there, but that shouldn't be too hard to get done. Really shouldn't. I wonder if I even added my copper truck back here. Did I do it? No, I never did it. So there's something else I have to fix real quick. Let's get our truck, chuck it down there. I want to grab some coal. Drop it in there as well. So we got vehicle path. It's going to be copper ore loading and copper ore hub unload. It's going to be coal and enable autopilot. Because I completely forgot that I broke down my copper truck here. Almost said it's a tractor, but we're only using, oh my goodness, fell down. We are only using trucks. We won't be using tractors again. They just don't transport enough, in my opinion. So for what we are planning to do, we definitely need much bigger vehicles. Alright, let's get the coal unloaded into our steel factory. Then we'll go and set up the other truck there. And then we just have iron to do and to get the machines in place, which is good. I think it needs to go up one higher. Yeah, something like that should be perfect. Go with the Mark 5, reverse the direction, reverse it again. Then that it should be perfectly in line. It seems to be. This one should be at the correct height as well, so we just have to snap things in here quick and easy, no problem at all. So the coal is already unloading that side, or going into the building. It's not unloading yet. It's just before we close that section off, I want to check something as well. Yeah, okay, so I've already got the iron prepared for our advanced production that we'll do in the next episode, because this is going to be a massive project. The rates are truly ridiculous. We're going to be needing over 2,000 screws, so that's going to be quite a bit of work. I'm also thinking that I need to add in some concrete. But where are we going to do that? You know what? Let's get the foundries up and running. We'll sort out the concrete for our encased beams when we get to it. So I want to get that closed off there. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Almost forgot to do this again. Get the truck. Come on, just go where I need you to go, buddy. Give me 100 coal there. Chuck you in there. So we're going to be searching for all the coal. Coal loading station 2. And then coal hub unload station, right? Adding coal, we say enable autopilot. So it seems like one of my vehicles seems to be stuck here. Oh, that's the tractor. It's because I broke down the path from the coal loading station 2. So never mind that for the moment. Should be okay. Really should. Yeah, look at the amount of coal we got here. Alright, so I think we're sorted now. Just need to go over to our steel production and get this started. Everything has been leading up to just getting this production up and running. Do like using the elevators, they are quite interesting as well. And we got some lightning happening, it's raining. It's also a fantastic addition they added back into the game, having the rain effects. Right, let's see if I can spot this miner. It should be right over here somewhere. Okay, so that is fine. We do need to add in foundations though. Just get rid of this little piece that's sticking out of the ground. We should be good to build. There we go, perfect. So which way do I want to do this? Maybe add a 4-meter one. Then we can go over to a miner Mark 3. Once it turned into... bring it over that side or this side. I think the other side should be the best way. I think it's going to be clipping into the ground if we do it over here. So we can get that foundation in place. Now we do need to grab a bit of walls. Let me just grab the correct one. Just have to extend this out a bit. I might have to change that to 1 meter walls if there's any clipping issues. Take a look at that a bit later. Just close this off first. Why does it seem like this wall comes up higher? Yeah, it actually does. Interesting. So I'm definitely gonna have to do it in a 1 meter at the top side. So if we go 1 meter like this, it should be fine then. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do this. Select the 1 meter ones. Just quickly get that done as well. Trying not to select my floor. So 1 meter wall. All then. Yeah, I think doing the buildings in odd sections will definitely be interesting, to say the least. Because there's a couple of ways things can actually work out here. So what I want to do in order to get this lift connected and looking decent, I think I should add it over there. Then we can go with the Mark 5. Because I think the other one only does 480, right? So I'm going to add this to this height. And then now comes the interesting part. I would like to get this lift as the stumpy one done. So let me see if I can get this, because this is going to be quite an interesting challenge to do. So I want to move it over like this, then we bring it forward a little bit. The trick is going to be to stop the belt at the correct height, so it needs to be over there. Grab a new lift, just make sure that I can get this correct as well. I think that should be in line. Now then, why do I have to go to default for this to work? Doesn't matter. Then we should be able to get a lift and face it in this direction, or snap it from this side to there. There we go. So this is the one that I'm looking for. But I want to move the splitter back just one more. And then there we go. Get that upgraded to a minor Mark 5 lift, not a minor Mark 5. And by doing that, it should allow me to get a low barrier right around here without it clipping into anything off the belt network. And also I have quick access to the miners should I need to. Yeah, something like this should work. Just go and color this in white there for iron. Could have actually flipped this over to the side. Interesting. I just want to take a look at something. So if we add it like this, it's not going to be clipping through, but it's going to bother me looking like that. So I think let's get the splitter over this side. I just want to get this fixed. Just really want to get this fixed. Okay, so this needs to go a bit closer. Now that's a bit too close. Man, it's being so tricky with this. Wonder if we add it over there. No, still not close enough, is it? Man, this is gonna give me a bit of a hassle. Should be half a notch over. I could just get the correct spot for this, but for some reason it wants to really give me a problem. This is crazy. Reverse the direction. And then if I maybe move it over this way, like this, hopefully it should work. It's not working the way I want it to. Oh, there we go. Finally managed to get it to snap in there. Quite tricky to do it. Really quite tricky, but I do enjoy using these stumpy lifts. They look quite interesting. That's this tractor highlighted. Alright, so with that done, we're going to bring a Mark 5 towards the back here. And we just need to bring in the coal over this side. Perfect. Planning work is almost done. Then we can get down to doing the actual building. Go to a conveyor pole connection. Bring it back by 2 from the corner. I think that should be the correct height. Straight over there, straight over here. Then just straight towards the back. Get rid of this side here. Oh my goodness, I'm selecting everything here that I shouldn't select. Leave my lift in place there, buddy. Leave it there. Okay, good. So we got coal unloading. We got iron ore. It does need to be connected to power, but that shouldn't be an issue. What happened over here? Where's my personal elevator part? Or did I actually break it down now? That is so annoying. How did I manage to do that? Is this gonna work or not? Doesn't really seem to be the case though. Wonder what happened with my elevator. Let me just fix this mess. I might actually have to go and shorten these little intersections quite a bit, because I see a little bit of a traffic jam building up here at the back. But luckily they just continue to drive without any care in the world. It's absolutely fantastic though. So I've got my lift back in place there, I just haven't renamed it yet. Let's go and take a look at where we're going to be adding the storage containers, the awesome sink. Then how do I want to do this? Because I do want to add a workshop in here as well, just to have it looking a bit better and to fill up the small gap here. So let's go with the industrial storage. Yeah, I think around here should be fine. Just want to leave a bit of a gap in between, so we can see the machines from the back there. Do I want to leave it with 2 little slots there? I think over there should be fine. This isn't going to be in line though. I think that gap is too big. Man, I'm making so many mistakes today with this. So that's 1, then 2. Okay, perfect. That should actually work out. Then we do need to add dimensional depots. And a lift Mark 3, I think should be fine. That's the fastest we can upload anyway when we're done with it. So we're gonna have steel beams, steel pipes, and encased industrial beams. That's gonna be everything that we need to get in this factory. Now for the trickiest part of this build is going to be our smart splitters. Smart splitter. Gonna add it close to this one. A little bit back on the second container. And then back in front again for the third one. Then we're going to be adding a lift. I think it needs to be a Mark 1 for the encased beams. It's going to be a Mark 2 for the steel pipe, because that is going to be at 90 per minute. Gonna add a merger on top here. Facing in this direction, I think should be fine. Mark 1 belt in between. This is gonna be at 120 per minute, so a Mark 2 belt. Mark 2 belt and a Mark 1 again into this container. Then we're going to be adding the overflow towards the left hand side. So let's go with the Mark 2 lift. Going to need another merger. And facing out towards the left hand side, because we're just going to wrap this belt directly in there. And we can even go with a straight connection. But it needs to be a Mark 2. Alright, so that should be all of our overflow flowing into one merger. So this needs to go to the left, overflow to the left as well, and this one overflow towards the right. Alright, perfect. So we got that in place. Let's get our awesome sink. This is definitely going to be standing around the left hand side here. I want to have quick access to getting my tickets depending on where I am. And let's go with a Mark 3 just for in case. And wrap it directly around into there. Awesome. So if I just turn on my light there, let's go and get our stackable conveyor poles. think we can add it right over here. Why does this not seem to be in line though? Over there should be fine. Just go over by 1. Over by 1 again. There we go. Go with the Mark III. Let's just do this properly. And there we go. So now that is going to be our full overflow system set up properly as well. Quick and easy right from the get-go. Now the tricky part is going to be all of our steel production here. So I've got steel ingots at 600 per minute. It's going to be taking petroleum coconut coal. I'm going to have to fix that. But for the moment, let me just take a look here. We got steel beams at 90 per minute. We're going to push this right into the corner here. And I think it's facing in the correct way here. No, it needs to be over this side. Alright, so this is going to be the front of the machine. Not clipping through, but we can move it over by another notch. And I want to leave myself enough gap here to do any splitting that I need in order to send the production somewhere else. So that's steel beams. Now we just need to add in our steel pipe production. This is facing the correct way. Yeah, I think that's fine. So then to unload everything, we're just going to go with the straight connection, Mark II. That is perfect. This one needs to go over there, but I want to bring it closer this side, so let's just wrap it around this way. What do we need to send over for the encased beams? I think it was going to be... yeah, the steel beams. So we could just add another splitter on top of this one. Send half into production for encased beams. And the rest into storage and then into an awesome sink. So I think that should be perfect. Let's go and get our foundries down. And then get this production up and running. So this is going to be at 270 per minute. It is a bit lower than what I really need. But I'm going to have to make this work. And I'm going to have to extend the building out by one more foundation, I think. Yeah, because I need to wrap the belts around this side in order to feed the machines. And we're going to be using 2 stacks of this. So let me just get this correct now. It should be over there. So then that 270 times 2 is going to be 540. Exactly what we need. Everything is working out perfectly, yeah. But for the moment, I think I need to add a splitter over this side. This one is going to be a little bit more tricky to do. Quite a bit more tricky. Interesting. How am I going to do this one? Because being that... you know what? I think I know how I'm going to do it. I think I know how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to change the one splitter. So we can add it directly in there. I'm going to go with a Mark III. Go with a Mark III as well. I think we can just go over this way. And these dogs are going crazy. Hopefully it doesn't make it into the video. Alright, so we got that loaded. I don't think this is going to load like this. I'm going to need to bring it back a tiny bit. It's not going to allow me to do it, is it? Maybe if I do it from over here. Yeah, look at this. Oh man, it's giving me such a hassle to get it in there. Just need to reverse the direction, then it should actually go in there. Now that I think about it. Yeah, there we go. Exactly what I needed. So let's go and upgrade you to a Mark III as well. Yeah, I think that's the way I'm gonna have to do it. I don't think there's any other way to get that done, so we're gonna have to move this by nudging it in place. Just get it to the correct height. Go with a Mark III again. This one needs to be moved. And we're golden. I'm trying to do this without doing any cuts today, just to show how interesting it is to actually get things figured out sometimes. And I think that's fully connected on up. Should be. Just need to wrap it around from the side again. Nice straight connection. And right into there. Good. I'm gonna have to play around with the rates though, because since this is only 270 and it needs to be 300 and 300 in order to do everything that I want, because I planned this out for 600 a minute. So if I can just add 30, that's just gonna be 20. So normally it's at 45, so let's add 60. And then we just add another 60 on another machine over this side. Right, so that's going to be 15 per machine. So we're just going to copy this into one machine at the bottom and one machine at the bottom over here. And I think that's going to balance everything out, because we need to get 30 extra on this blueprint here to make it 300 per minute, because our steel beams at 90 per minute takes up 60 per machine. There's 6 machines, and the steel pipe is 30 per minute for 6 machines as well. So everything should be good now, hopefully. If it doesn't, I'll just come back and show what I had to change on the rates in order to get everything to work properly. Okay, let's see if we can get the splitting done for this. I'm gonna go with a Mark 5. Loading the machines is important to do it as quick as possible. Wrap you around this way. Just upgrade the belts as well. There we go. Do you need to connect this together? And I think in order to bring this power connection forward, what I am going to do is I'm going to run it along the wall here. And it's getting so dark already. I'll have to come and change these to single connections later on. For the moment, it's not going to be the end of the world. We could just run it like this for now. Come and tidy up my power network a bit later. Bring it over this way, connect up the miner. Then I still have to connect up the awesome sink here. But how do I want to do it? Is this not connected to power? It's supposed to be connected. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is connected to power. Strange that it's giving me a secondary power connection here. Because here's the power line. If I just take off my blueprint mode, there we go with the power line. That was just a bit weird. Gonna need to bring it over this way. Let's bring the power line to there. Right, now we should have power to the building. Does the miner have power? Yes, it does. So everything is good up to this point. Except for over here, we do need to add the iron in there as well. I just have to make sure that I connect this up properly. I know the one for the coal we can upgrade to a Mark 5. I'm just going to do this for everything in between the lifts. So coal is only going to be loading in from one side, right? from what I can see. See if we can get this the correct height, because it's a bit tricky. That belt is very far away. No, give me the belt. There we go. Oh, perfect. Okay, so that goes straight in. That is going to be our coal. It's going to wrap through this belt, go up with the lifts into each one. And then we got our iron ore on the lower belt. Something's not right here. This needs to be upgraded. There we go. Now it's running good. So then how do we feed it through the second part here? Gonna need to do it with a lift apparently. Okay, this is gonna be a bit more interesting. Okay, it is gonna snap in there, so it shouldn't be an issue. Can bring you around this side. Then I think we can just change the splitter on this one. Go straight on through. Go with the Mark 5, and another Mark 5. Okay, so that should be all of the foundries getting everything it needs in order to feed it the iron ore and the coal in order to make our ingots. And then it should be... Oh my goodness, that painted the wrong one. It should be running perfect. I'm just gonna have to check here why the belts are loading a bit slow from the iron side. But I don't think it should be an issue at all. As long as all of these machines turn on and run perfectly, we should be good. Then this is going to be our steel production. So I'm going to wait for daytime. Shouldn't be too long. Okay, so I think this is what we're going to do for our encased industrial beams. I'm just going to be adding it right over here. Now it is going to take up 36 concrete per machine in order to give us 12 per minute, so it's not going to be an extremely high rate, and it's going to be 36 steel beams in total, so it's not going to be taking that much from over here. You know what, I actually did this wrong. I need to move this over just a tiny bit, just a very, very, very small amount. So I want to try and get the lift in place there with that splitter over that side, which is going to be a little bit more tricky to do. So you know what, I think I can add it over there. Then if we get our lifts down, should be at a Mark 1. Hopefully this is going to be directly in line. I really hope so. Just get another normal splitter over there and there. Do I want to use a Mark 2 belt? I don't think so. We're just going to be needing 36, so it really doesn't need to be all this high. Just a Mark 1 lift. And please tell me this is going to be in line. It barely is. Gonna have to move it over just a tiny bit more, but I think I'm just going to move that splitter back by one nudge. It's going to be easier to do than just moving this entire thing again. So then how do I get this in place? If I add this over here, hopefully I can snap it in place here. Not really, but it is allowing me to just get the line correct there. So that should now be straight. And then we only need a Mark 1, right? Because that's going to be 18 and 18 into this machine, so that should be good. Okay, we just need to connect our power. Give me power, there we go. And just connect you back up that side again. Right, so that should be our steel beams loading in. How do I want to do this? Let's bring it out by one more power line, move it over there. Then we can move this power line outwards again and just get it connected to the awesome sink there. Right, perfect. Seems like my production is running a bit slow. It's all got to do with the iron ore. Doesn't seem like it's unloading quick enough here. At what rate is this running at? 240, no wonder. No freaking wonder. It needs to be increased a bit more. So I need to get 520 out of this. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be so much better. So everything should be running now. Still have a lot of painting work to do. But that should be perfect. So we got our pipes running. Our steel beams are running. Yeah, I think everything should be good. It's only the iron that was a bit short in order for this to work. So with that sorted out, let's come and finish up this building. We need to add another splitter in between these two machines. Mark one belt into it, mark one into it there, same over this side. And then I'm gonna go with the Mark II feeding over from our constructors that we need to get down. I'm gonna have to move one of these power lines. Yeah, I definitely need to move one of them. It's gonna be a bit in the way. So one constructor for our concrete is gonna do 15 per minute, so we need to get 4 down. I don't think I have the space for it there. I don't have the space, so concrete at 90 per minute. I'm definitely gonna have to upgrade that concrete miner. Or the limestone miner, not the concrete one. Limestone is the one that we need to bring into this factory to get this up and running. So I think over there should be perfectly fine. Let's go with the Mark II. And then how do we add in our limestone here? Needs to be from over this direction, right? So I'm gonna cut a hole in the floor. Okay, that ain't gonna work though. Interesting, very, very interesting. So I know that I can bring the limestone out somewhere over this side. I'm just not exactly sure where. So let me get the limestone into the building and then we'll finish this off. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring it down into our little truck tunnel here, because this just seems to be the best place to do it. So I'm gonna add another splitter. Don't actually need to add another one. We got one over here. Then I'm gonna be keeping with a Mark V to load the machines a lot quicker. So let's just wrap this in there. Absolutely perfect. It's neat, it's tidy, no issues, no drama. This should work out perfectly. So then we can just go and close off this entire building again, because I made a few holes trying to figure out where it needed to go. That is perfect. So then it's going to be coming in around somewhere. Right here at the back. Okay, so let me just get this correct here. Get you flipped around, do a default connection. That should be fine. Okay, so now we finally have limestone coming into this building. It took a bit of work, but I finally managed to get that up and running. So the tricky part again is going to be that we need to add a splitter over this side. It is unfortunate, but it needs to go here. And I think it needs to be right in the corner, otherwise this section won't be working properly. I know that I don't need a Mark V, but I'm just using it to ensure that it loads up as quick as possible. And I'm gonna have to go and increase our miner for the limestone, so we'll be upgrading that to a Mark V as well. Perfect. That should hopefully be everything we need in order to just get our steel production to go and run the way it should. I really hope so. Just want to do some of the coloring here. Yeah, I think that should be fine. We just need to connect this side up to power now. It's going to be a bit tricky, especially with that lift in the way there. So I don't want the wire to be clipping through like that, so just gonna do this for now. Okay, perfect. So we got limestone being converted into concrete. That is going to be joined up with the two assemblers in order to do our encased industrial beams. And that should then be the entire steel production moved on over. Yeah, this is going to be so much better. Absolutely will be so much better. Now I don't have to run or use the hypertube in order to get to it anymore. So if I have to do any slooping, that is just going to be so much easier. Why is it? Oh, there we go. There's the snapping point that I wanted. I'll go and close off this entire building, get some windows added, and we should be golden. So that is going to be our entire steel production for today. I'll have to add some vents over here for the smoke. And then we can finally get to our advanced production in the next one. I do hope you guys still enjoyed, and that I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Alpha Blazed Gamer out.